What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Everyday Carry channel for another firearm review. But first, in my pocket is my Riate XO Blade HQ version. This is with a Cerakoted aluminum handle and LMAX steel. This one has a two-tone blade. Blade HQ makes, they have a couple different budget options for this Riate XO. This one is this one's a little bit more expensive, $160. They also have a cheaper version for $130 that uses Nitro V. Really cool. If you guys want to try out the gravity knife Riate XO, I've wanted to try it for a long time. I didn't want to spend the money on the titanium version, so I tested out the aluminum one just to see how it was. I like it a lot. And on the wrist, I have my Seiko SSK GMT. I think this is the SSK 25. It's all blacked out. It comes with a black NATO strap. I took the NATO strap for just a blacked out leather strap. Looks pretty sweet, guys. Nice field watch. It's got bright green numbers, a domed sapphire crystal. Cool field watch. Let me know what you guys think about that. On the table for review today is two micro compact optics. These are fully enclosed optics. We have the OSight S and the Holosun EPS Carry. I have the EPS Carry on my P365X macro, and I have the OSight on my Canik Mede MC9. Currently, this is my carry setup. I've had this for a couple years now. I mean, maybe a year and a half. I do think the EPS is more tested. It's been out for a while. You see reviews like I think Sage Dynamics did some reviews on the EPS. Super robust optic. It's got thick aluminum. He does crazy torture tests with his optics, and this one is holding up still. It's standing the test of time. He's got his white pages where he tests every optic and he puts it on there, and this one fares very well. Especially since this comes in a carry platform, so it's nice, micro compact. It fits on a gun like the P365, which is only 1 inch thick, and it still takes up only a little bit of space. I mean, you got optics like the Aimpoint Acro or something like that, and it's a giant mailbox optic. I mean, it looks like this huge thing sitting on top of your slide. I love the option to have a fully enclosed optic in such a small footprint. It's awesome. And now OSight has another option for that same small mailbox footprint, but at a more affordable price than the Holosun. The Holosun comes in, this is the base 2 MOA dot EPS Carry. This one comes in at about $350. I think I got this one on sale for around $300, maybe a little less. I'm not sure, but you can get this in a bunch of different forms. You can get it with a circle dot, you can get it with a dot, you can get the I think you can get it in green or red. This is just the red 2 MOA dot. I think this is the cheapest option, but all I wanted was the 2 MOA. So it made sense for me to get this one. I believe there's an option to have a solar charging port, and then also that adjusts with whatever light is in the room. It adjusts the brightness of the dot. This one does not. It just has plus or minus brightness, which I don't run the auto dots. Usually I adjust it manually anyways. The OSight, I think you can get it for around $200 to $250. The regular MSRP price is $250, but I believe this one was on sale for $200. This is a newer optic they recently came out with. Last I checked, I didn't think Sage Dynamics did a torture test on it, but there's other people who did some torture tests on it. Seems to hold up pretty well. One guy specifically tested for 0, and I think this one held 0. The other Olight didn't hold 0, but this one did. It seems pretty robust. It's got thinner aluminum around the window, but from what I read about this optic, it uses a proprietary aluminum alloy, which is as strong as low-grade titanium, which could make up for the thinner wall aluminum on the sides. The thinner aluminum is nice because you get a larger viewing angle, less obstruction around the optic. It blends in well when you're shooting. It comes right up, and the walls just disappear around the optic a little bit easier. Both of these are set up to run 2 MOA dots, but the OSight has the option to do a circle or a circle dot. I think it's a 32 MOA circle with a 2 MOA dot, or just the circle or just the dot. So the OSight also comes with the option for the cheaper price, $200. It has the option to run an auto brightness, which, again, I said I don't run auto brightness. Usually I keep it at whatever fixed brightness I want. Probably a little bright in the dark, so it's good during the day. I set it to where it's good at almost any light situation. Certain times in the nighttime it might be really bright, but the dot's there in the bright days. The OSight comes with a charging port that sits over the optic. It's like a shroud, and it has a magnetic portion that attaches to this part of your optic, and it charges it up. I think that's maybe an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how you look at it. The OSight being rechargeable, if it dies and you forget to charge it, you have to wait for it to charge up before you can use it again. If your Holosun dies, you can just replace the battery in the side of the optic here, and you can have a fully charged optic because you put a new battery in there. So I think depending on how you look at it, could be an advantage or a disadvantage. With the charging shroud being portable with its own battery on it, I think it's probably an advantage as long as you remember to charge it when needed. But I think on the batteries alone, it lasts 2 years with battery life. But you could take that shroud and you can put it on every couple months just to verify you're fully charged, and you'll never need to worry about batteries for this. Holosun, they have 50,000 hour battery life on their optic, but I've had issues with Holosuns dying quicker than what they say. A couple of mine barely last a year and a half. So I make sure I replace the batteries in my Holosun every year. I just do it on my birthday so I remember. I have several Holosun optics, so I do the same thing with all of them. I replace them every year on my birthday. Looking through the optics, I feel like the OSight is a little bit clearer. It has less tint on the glass. Again, that larger viewing window helps. The Holosun has a little bit of a fisheye to it. I don't think it's enough that it will obstruct your shooting, but it does have a little bit of fisheye or magnification to it. I don't notice it as much with the OSight. Yeah, it's definitely not as much. But again, that larger viewing window helps. You can look at the two down there. You can see, maybe you can see the difference in the tint. I'm not sure you can or not looking from the front. They both have an anti-reflective coating on the front of the glass. They're both tilted in, so you can't reflect things from the front. They both have notches in the rear of the sight, which help if you don't have a rear sight on your gun. It helps you to be able to use it in case your dot goes out in line with your front sight. They both have adjustment tabs that use flathead screwdrivers. They're both audible clicks too, which is nice because a lot of optics in this category just use an Allen wrench with no audible clicks. So it's difficult to sight in, I feel like, because you can't determine how much you're actually turning it all the time without hearing the clicks. You know, with this, if I do 1, 2, 3 clicks, I think there's 2 or 3 MOAs per click. I know how much the dot's actually moving over. As far as the boxes are concerned, the Holosun comes with a cardboard cover over a plastic box. The plastic box has a little foam cover and owner's manual, a warranty card. It also comes with a couple different packs of screws, an adapter plate for RMSC footprint, because the 407K footprint's a little different. It has 2 lugs versus 4 lugs in the RMSC footprint. The screws it comes with, I think they're 2 different thread pitches, and then one screw comes with 2 different sizes, and the other thread pitch comes in 1 size. So I think it comes with 3 sets of screw total, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not positive. The OSight has a plastic box here. It comes with the charging shroud would be here, the optic here, and then you have a bunch of different your charging cord. You have a lanyard for your charging shroud to put around it so you could tie it to your bag or something like that. And then you have the tool to adjust the optic. You get a very similar tool to what you get with Holosun. One of the cool things OSight comes with is it has this nice screw case, and it comes with a different thread pitch for almost any option on the market right here. It comes with a bunch of different screws in each one. You can see all the different screw thread pitches and lengths they have. These are nice too because they're sealed containers and they're portable, so you can take them apart. If this is the screw that works for your gun, take this to the range. You can have this in your range bag, and you got some additional screws if you need it. It also comes in different lengths. So I think that's a nice delivery there that OSight has done. Definitely gives you more options than what you get for with Holosun, and it's nice to run factory screws with your optic, because this optic was designed to have these taper screws in there. Sometimes a good example is this Canik comes with button head screws, and the button head screws stick out of the top of the optic a little bit, which doesn't, I believe it doesn't have as much strength because you don't have as much contact area with the screw in the optic itself. Also, the screws would be protruding out of the top of the optic, and you can see with them installed on there, they're really flush and flat on the top of that optic. It's what was designed for this, and it's nice for the company to provide the screws so you don't have to worry about it for basically any gun out there. Now you can see the screws that came with the Holosun also sit nice and flush. But again, if I had to install it on this Canik, I'm not sure the screws that Holosun provided would fit, and you might have to install button head screws or go aftermarket and try and find screws that fit this gun and fit this optic like these ones do. Again, I think both of these optics are nice. I like having the enclosed optic for concealed carry. It helps keep dust out of the optic. You don't run into issues where you're getting lint in your optic because you're carrying it in waistband. Sometimes you get lint from your shirt or something like that, gets in the optic and you pull it out and your emitter could be blocked. You don't run into those issues with these enclosed optics. So it's really nice, especially for concealed carry. I think it's a great option. Also, you don't have as many issues with fogging up the lens or water or anything getting in there. This is a sealed optic. It's waterproof. You're not going to have issues. Another thing I noticed, which I think is an advantage of that Holosun has, is you can see both of them have the buttons there on the left side of the optic. They're both rubber buttons, so they're sealed up from the elements. You don't have to worry about water getting in there. But the Holosun has larger buttons. They're easier to manipulate. And then also the Holosun has a lockout feature, so you can lock it out and you don't accidentally hit the button when you're carrying it. Because a lot of times when you're carrying the gun in the holster, your buttons are still available to be hit. And you don't want to draw your gun and need it, and then your brightness be on the wrong setting, or maybe the brightness is too low and you can't pick up the dot as quickly and you're fighting to find the dot, and you're losing valuable time if you do that. So this does not have a lockout feature. At least I don't believe. I looked through the instructions. I couldn't find anything that would lock out this dot. So that's a nice feature that Holosun has, especially for concealed carry. I think it's definitely an advantage there. But with that said, the OSight buttons are smaller than the Holosun buttons, and they're down lower, and it might be difficult to hit. I haven't carried really this Canik very much with the OSight on it. This is a new setup, so I've been testing it mostly, and I haven't run into that issue where I'm mistakenly pressing the buttons. Usually when I draw it and I check, the buttons are right where they're supposed to be. So I don't know that that's going to be an issue. It's just nice to have the security that your buttons aren't going to change because they're in a lockout mode. Or you know, you're depending on that to be on and where you put it. And the Holosun's going to be there. I'm not sure the OSight will, because again, there's no lockout feature. Like I said, these optics are almost identical in footprint size, so it doesn't affect carrying, I don't think. They both carry really nicely. They're both, I think, 1 inch wide and maybe 1 inch tall, square. They're nice optics. I think the OSight is a great alternative to the Holosun, especially being $100, $150 cheaper than the base model of the Holosun and having a lot more features than the Holosun. It's a great option, great alternative budget option. Maybe if you get the right holster, which maybe sticks out a little bit from the gun and doesn't allow the buttons to be touched, or maybe there's a holster that has a sweat guard that comes up and covers the buttons. and it might not be an issue carrying the gun without a lockout. A lot of people don't have their optics locked out anyways. That's just a personal thing I like to do. So I think the OSight is a good option. Sorry, I think the OSight is a good alternative option to the Holosun, maybe at a better price point. The Holosun's a little bit more tried tested. It's been around for longer. There's more torture tests on it. It's most likely going to hold zero. It's not going to break. You have an optic on a concealed carry gun that you can use as a duty optic here. Will the OSight do that? Maybe. Time will tell. I like this optic so far. We'll see what comes next. Let me know what you guys think. Which one are you guys choosing? Are you saving $100, $150 getting the OSight? Or are you going to spend the money on the Holosun? I think they're both good options. It just depends on how you look at it. Let me know what you guys think of this video. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. There's more to come. I appreciate you guys tuning in. God bless. Have a good day.